Hello, this is Emily Orr, and today I will be presenting a Defense of the Dissertation Practice Run, or a collegial discussion. This is on a dissertation by Vicki Barth in the year 2003, titled Preparation for the Role of Baccalaureate Nurse Educator, Implications for Development of a Nurse Educator Curriculum. The sections that we'll be discussing include the introduction with the research topic and importance being addressed, the methodology, the results, as well as the conclusions. Regarding the introduction, this dissertation focuses on the fact that there is a huge nursing shortage affecting our country today. Many of the nurses that the nation is short on includes academic nurse educators who are well qualified to teach nursing. A survey was sent out, and of the 275 institutions that returned the survey, there were 28 faculty that held doctorates, 209 faculty that held masters and had formal preparation as a nurse educator. However, a staggering 971 faculty members didn't have minimum credentials for national accreditation. The research topic was to determine the experience and opinions of nurse educator faculty regarding preparation for the role. While nurses are experts in their disciplines, many nurses are not formally or adequately trained to hold the role of academic nurse educator. There were 3 research questions presented by Vicki Barth. Number 1, how have faculty been prepared to teach? Number 2, what additional information was identified by faculty of baccalaureate nursing programs accredited by the NLN as needed to meet the changing roles in teaching? Number 3, what did the baccalaureate nursing program faculty report as positives and as negatives that were activities associated with their preparation for teaching? This is important because with such a severe nursing shortage, and not just seeing it in clinical, but also the academic side of nursing, we're very much short on nurse faculty who are qualified to teach. And because of this, the consequence is that nursing programs being short are having to turn away qualified applicants to their programs because they do not have enough faculty to support expanding the enrollment. If there's enough faculty to support expanding the enrollment, we could increase the number of nursing students that we take into programs, and then this would help alleviate or at least slow down the nursing shortage that we're seeing today that is projected to get worse. So there are 3 goals with this. Goal number 1, having a quality educational preparation for the students. Goal number 2 is having curriculum that meets established standards. Goal number 3, having faculty prepared for the role of teaching. Models for development and continuing assessment of teacher competency needs to be determined and created. Many new nursing faculty do not understand the responsibilities expected of faculty, which include teaching, service, and scholarship. Being a new faculty member, the new faculty must obtain an understanding of an academic career in order to be successful in the nursing program and to be the most beneficial to the nursing program. The methodology utilized in this study included triangulation design, collecting quantitative and qualitative data to answer research questions. A survey was used for the quantitative data, and open-ended questions were used for the qualitative data. And this was used to answer the research questions presented by Vicki Barth. This also allowed the investigator to develop implications for curriculum development based on input from faculty and baccalaureate nursing programs. So the sample and setting, there were 10 NLN accredited baccalaureate nursing programs from each time zone selected to participate in the survey. 10 educators from 10 programs were contacted to participate. There was a password-protected internet address provided to participants to complete the survey. Completion implied consent for participating in the survey, in the study, and all respondents were able to answer the open-ended questions at the end of the survey. The instrument was adopted version from the Faculty Development Survey by Ryder and Billings in 1999. There were 5 subscales. A Likert scale 1 to 5 was used, with 5 indicating the greatest need. Reliability and validity of the instrument was established. Threats to the validity included dropouts from the study and also limited generalizability. Data analysis occurred with descriptive statistics being used to describe faculty characteristics of the samples, and also findings of open-ended questions were presented in a narrative format. Human rights were protected during this study. The research application was presented to the university IRB board, and approval was obtained. Participation was voluntary, and participants were able to withdraw at any point without consequence. The purposes, duration, risks, and benefits were explained to participants. Confidentiality and remaining anonymous was also ensured. Data was destroyed at the end of the survey, and the findings were all published in a manner so that no subject or participant could be identified. Regarding the results, the final sample consisted of 89 nurse educators who completed the study. 9% were part-time, 81% full-time, 33.7% were tenured, 38.2% were on a tenure track, 28.1% were non-tenure. Experience of the educators ranged from 1 to 37 years with a mean of 24.14 years. 81 respondents were teaching from 0 to 30 years with a mean being 11.79 years to continue their career. 22 respondents had a doctorate in nursing. 25 respondents had a doctorate in other fields. 12 of them were education. 44 respondents had an MSN, and 5 had masters in another field. Regarding question number 1, 69.7% had formal teacher education courses, 30.3% did not. 60.7% have either major or minored in higher education. 27% had no formal preparation to be a nurse educator. From 2001 to 2003, 0 to 25 professional development conferences or activities were attended, with a mean of 3.87 activities for professional development being attended. 9 respondents had no attendance at professional development. 74% had been mentored in teaching nursing students. 14.6% had no mentor. 67.4% of educators had been a mentor to a new nursing student teacher. 5.6% had never served in a mentor role. 63 faculty had some extent to great extent of preparation, while 26% had little or no preparation in regards to writing a mission and philosophy statement. Over a third had no preparation regarding educational mobility programs. The overwhelming majority did have preparation in using ethical and legal principles. 5 respondents had no prep regarding student assessment. 13 respondents had no prep or very little on writing objectives. 20 educators had not had any planning clinical preparation or only a small amount. Over a third had prep for basic teaching learning theories. 9 had no prep for teaching critical thinking. 10 had no prep for instructional technologies. 26 had little to no prep for using the internet. 38 had no prep using portfolios to teach and evaluate. 20 had no prep writing the NCLEX style questions. 15 nurse educators had no test item analysis preparation. And 23 had no preparation evaluating student writing. Question number 3, additional info identified to meet the changing role. 2/3 of faculty needed additional information understanding faculty rights, responsibilities, and academic freedom. Half of the faculty wanted more information on using university structure, policy, and procedures. 47 faculty needed more information on promotion and tenure. 47 faculty needed more information available on agency resources to support their students in their program. A fourth needed information participating in faculty governance activities. Using portfolios to demonstrate teaching was needed by 49. 69 needed information on how to maintain clinical credibility. Half needed info on interdisciplinary teaching. 48 needed information on peer review teaching. 35 need information on coping with delayed faculty satisfaction. A third needed more information on adapting prior organization experiences into a differently structured academic environment. 22 were concerned with coping with isolation after working in the role of clinical practice. 45 needed information on acting as student advocates, advisors, and resources. 48 indicated a need for scholarship discovery. Half needed knowledge in revising expectations and types of outcomes. 2/3 needed information on scholarship of integration. Over half need information on incorporating theory-based nursing practice in the clinical setting. 2/3 needed information incorporating critical thinking in classroom and clinical setting. Over half needed information on scholarship of practice or applying new knowledge, and 2/3 needed information on advancing nursing science through research utilization. The positive and negative activities for educational prep. The positive were filming themselves, teaching, attending workshops, obtaining a PhD in education, reading about teaching and learning theory, one consulted with her sister who has a PhD in science education at the college level, having a mentor. Having a mentor was absolutely critical. Talking with other faculty and non-nursing faculty, formal course in teaching strategies, and majoring in nursing clinical. Also, attending a master's program in nursing education and attending conferences related to nursing education activities. The negatives were observing other faculty give lectures because they felt like that was boring and demeaning, one said. Usual orientation for new faculty did not really pinpoint what nursing faculty needed. Being required to take on online course while teaching an online course with no reduction in the workload was seen as negative. Faculty that seemed threatened and territorial was negative in teacher preparation, and then workshops that offered little value to the new educators was seen as negative. If they were starting over, their recommendations would be to get the doctoral degree as soon as possible, have formal preparation as a nurse educator, complete a certificate program for nursing education before starting the PhD, get a PhD before a full-time teaching position, and have an MSN in teaching. So regarding the conclusions, their needs for a nurse educator are varied per their educational preparation for the role of nurse educator. The doctoral degree is desired for nurse educators. Orientation programs are very helpful. Preceptor handbooks should be provided to new faculty, and that is seen as helpful. Mentoring is absolutely critical. Faculty must be required to attend educational offerings each year supported by the institution. Development of more inclusive educational programs for nurse educators need to occur. The author proposed a curricular plan that includes developing educational mobility programs, preparing FAT reports, and using portfolios to teach and evaluate. Educators should be a educator should be a track in an MSN program. There must be mentoring activities. As educator program develops, research needs to be conducted to see if they are meeting the needs of the nursing faculty. And a recommended curriculum per the author is semester 1 educational research and theory, where educational research would include research utilization, the scholarship of discovery, educational theory to include teaching and learning, application to classroom and clinical setting, curriculum design to include fit of the overall curriculum, and development of the educational mobility programs. Semester 2, curriculum and teaching. This would include the scholarship of practice, integration and teaching to include learning styles, writing goals, objectives, outcomes, syllabus construction, the teaching learning environment to include interdisciplinary teaching, peer review of teaching, teaching learning strategies, integrating critical thinking in the classroom and clinical setting, and using portfolios to teach and evaluate. Also, working with students in the classroom and clinical areas. Semester 3 would include education evaluation, evaluating methods for program, course, and student, classroom and clinical setting, test design, writing and analysis, assigning grades, classroom and clinical, revising expectations about types of outcomes, advising and counseling, acting as a student advocate, advisor, and resource, identifying agency resources available to students. Semester 4 would be education seminar, where we focus on change, collaboration, budget relevant to education, educational accreditation, clinical credibility as a nurse educator, and then faculty issues such as preparing for promotion and tenure, participating in faculty governance, using peer review of teaching, understanding faculty rights, responsibilities, and academic freedom, managing clinical credibility, writing for publication, identifying agency resources available to faculty, using a portfolio to document teaching, and participating in preparing reports. Thank you.